Hello, my name is Riley Lockett. I'm a 2D animator, and I spent about 2 weeks of my life creating this.
Now, see here, I say, see here, son. You got an Ice Cube's chance in the Louisiana summer of your pappy ever giving you your honor back, so knock it off with chasing the Avatar and start asking that there knucklehead you see in the mirror who he is and what he wants out of life.
This 30-second joke was seen by way more people than I expected, so I thought it would be fun to show my full process, from the first idea to storyboarding, rough animation, compositing, and the animation programs I used. This may seem pretty complicated, but I think anybody can do something like this, especially after I teach you how. This all started with a tweet. Then Voice Boss uploaded a TikTok video of himself performing this meme with his great Foghorn Leghorn voice. I wanted to make an animated meme like this ever since I saw this great video by Liam Funk.
I say you're pissing too darn loud, boy. It's late at night and you're pissing right in the center of the bowl like you're frying chicken in there.
So this seemed perfect. My idea was to integrate my animation of Foghorn Leghorn into the actual scene from Avatar seamlessly. I wanted it to look so convincing, someone unfamiliar could actually think he was a character in the show. First thing I did was choose which scene from Avatar I wanted to insert Foghorn. I knew I wanted it to be one of the most dramatic scenes in the show, so seeing a talking rooster there would be extra funny. I decided on this scene from Season 2, Episode 17, Lake Laogai, a major turning point in the show. The first step of actual production was the storyboard. I took a screenshot of the scene and drew my storyboard on top of it so I can make sure the eye lines matched. Matching eye lines is an important aspect of making two animated characters feel like they're interacting with each other. This storyboarding phase is also for blocking out key poses and timing them with dialogue.
Now, see here, son. You got an Ice Cube's chance in the Louisiana summer of your pappy ever giving you your honor back, so knock it off with chasing the Avatar and start asking that there knucklehead you see in the mirror who he is and what he wants out of life.
After I got my storyboard down, I moved into rough animation. I wanted Foghorn Leghorn to be as on model as possible. On model means an animation is consistent with the character design. The animation styles of Looney Tunes and Avatar are pretty different. Looney Tunes often stretches and exaggerates their characters for the sake of comedy. Avatar will sometimes do this for a joke or two, but their characters are far more consistently solid from scene to scene. I decided to add a few off-model frames, like smears and doubles for quick movements, but I kept them more solid overall to match the Avatar style. I'd never drawn Foghorn Leghorn before, so I researched some old Looney Tunes episodes as well as some character sheets I found. Character sheets are a great tool for artists to keep their animations on model. They show the character from tons of different angles and have lots of notes on the correct ways to draw them. Next was cleanup. This is where I redrew the rough animation using sharp, clean lines. I wanted the line art to match Avatar, so this stage took by far the longest. I'm not as experienced in this style of cleanup. Most of my previous animated projects had looser or rougher line art, so this was an excellent learning opportunity. The program I was using to animate, Clip Studio Paint, has an excellent set of tools for cleanup animation. You can make pixel-perfect strokes using their line, curve, and pen tools. Clip Studio Paint is used by a ton of professional anime studios, so it was great for emulating a style like Avatar, which is influenced heavily by the anime aesthetic. If you want to learn more about cleanup animation in Clip Studio Paint, I suggest watching this video by Chang, an animator who's used the program on multiple anime you might have seen. After a long week, I finished cleanup animation. The last animation phase is color. I knew if I wanted to convincingly put Foghorn Leghorn in Avatar, I needed to match his color with the scene. Looney Tunes usually uses bold colors, while Avatar will often change their characters' colors from scene to scene in order to match their dramatic lighting. Since this scene is in a dimly lit cave with green walls, I colored Foghorn Leghorn a bit darker and tinted more green than he's typically portrayed. My animation was finally complete. But the project wasn't over. I still needed to put Foghorn in the scene. This was the final phase of production, compositing. For this, I used Adobe After Effects, a powerful program that is great at adding effects and layering footage together. The shot I wanted to put Foghorn in is actually a bit more complex than it might appear. There are 3 overlapping layers: Zuko, Iroh, and the background. Not only that, but the layers are moving across the screen in order to emulate a camera moving through the set. I wanted to replace Iroh with Foghorn, but I didn't have access to the actual layers of the scene, just the flat image. So I had no choice but to create the layers myself. I brought a screenshot of the scene into Photoshop and used the select tool to cut around Iroh and Zuko. Then I used the Content Aware tool to fill in my selection. The Content Aware tool doesn't use generative AI. It just uses the information surrounding the selection to fill it in, while trying to match the nearby pixels. This is a great tool for removing small blemishes or removing strangers from the backgrounds of photos. I also use tools like Clone, Stamp, and Blur in order to clean up some of the rough edges. Photoshop does have a generative AI tool, but I didn't use it. No AI was used in the making of this animation. Everything from the writing, voice acting, and artwork was all made by funny, creative, and talented people. Once I completed the background, I brought it into After Effects and put the scene from Avatar on top. I used the Rotobrush tool to cut Zuko out of the scene. After Effects can actually track your rotoscope through the video clip, so you don't need to do it frame by frame. Just adjust it a couple times and you're good. Once Zuko's part of the shot was rotoscoped, I just put my animation in the middle, like meat in a sandwich. I animated the layers moving just like the original scene, and now it feels like a camera is looking over Zuko's shoulder. For some last finishing touches, I added a rim light effect to Foghorn that matched Zuko, just to make him feel like he's in the room. Lastly, I animated a slight blur at the beginning, like a camera was switching focus from Zuko to Foghorn. Then I brought my composition into my editing software, Premiere Pro, added background music from Avatar, and credits. And there you have it. Looking back, there are a few things I would do differently. I could have made Zuko's rotoscope a bit cleaner. You can see some errors if you zoom in. The lip sync on Foghorn could also use some more work, but I was trying to be conservative in the number of drawings I did. The more detailed the animation, the more time cleanup would have taken. Plus, Avatar's lip sync can be rough at times, so if anything, I was just matching the style of the show. Also, a few of you noticed that Zuko's scar switches from one side of his face to the other. This is actually because I flipped a shot from the episode in order to maintain continuity. It would feel weird if Zuko was facing the right of the screen, then suddenly flipped to the left in the next shot. Maybe I could have photoshopped his scar to be more consistent, but oh well. The rim light effect I used looks pretty good, but it also flattens my animation. In the actual scene, you can see that they animated the light around Zuko and Iroh's chin, nose, and mouth. If I gave myself more time, I could have animated the light on Foghorn to match, but I didn't want to spend a month on this. I often find myself getting hung up on details, and that can stop me from ever finishing a project, so I promised myself to finish this within a few weeks. And now you know my process. That's how I took a clever tweet and a funny TikTok into a fully animated scene. I learned a lot while making this, and I can't wait to implement those skills in my next animation. I love this art form so much I spent 4 years earning a degree in it, but most of what I learned at college, I learned on my own. Reading books and watching YouTube videos are great for teaching yourself the fundamentals of animation, but you'll learn a lot more, a lot faster, when you decide to actually pick up a pencil and make something yourself. I hope this video inspired you to give it a try. Because remember, anyone can make art, and everyone's an artist.